and welcome to our new podcast series, Formula of Success, the official podcast by Moracle Limited. I'm your host, Setare, and I'm so excited to have you here today as we dive into something truly unique and special that makes Moracle stand out. Joining me today is none other than Morlai Karpo, the founder and managing director of Moracle Limited. He's here to share insights about our company and the Moracle six-step accountancy formula, a game changer for businesses who are looking to grow. Welcome, Morlai. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much, Satere. Yes, I'm happy to be here. I'm also grateful. Yes, it's a new day. It's another opportunity to go out and serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Morlai. Let's start off by getting to know you a little bit better. Can you tell us about yourself and your journey leading up to the creation of Moracle Limited?
Thank you, Satere. Yes, it's a very good question. My name is Molai Kagbo, a seasoned professional FCCA, meaning that I'm a fellow of the Chartered Certified Accountants. I'm also a registered auditor. I am the global managing director of the Moracle Group, which consists of the Moracle Limited, the audit and accountancy firm. Moracle Foundation is the foundation that we set up to give back to the profession. And then also we got Moracle Consulting that does consulting work, in the UK, but also overseas. I am also the co-founder and co-director of African Transformation Centers Foundation, ATCF. It is a mindset training foundation that we set up about 4 years ago to train young people, particularly in Africa, on mindset. And that training is free. We're here to support and then transform the lives of young people by giving them the mindset training for free. I am also an ACCA award winner. And in 2019, I was blessed. ACCA awarded me this special award for the work supporting the accountancy community, particularly here in the UK. I am so blessed and highly favored. And I want to thank God for that accolade that was given to me. And that gave me the opportunity to be able to showcase what I could do a little bit more using the specialized skills that I'm being blessed with, accounting, auditing, finance, and be able to showcase that expertise in audit, the accountancy and management services to organizations, to people, but particularly so to young people. This has led me to do a little bit more. Right now, ACCA and Moracle Foundation are in partnership where we are delivering the program called the ACCA Advantage, UK University Program, whereby students who are in university, who have registered to do ACCA, the exams, ACCA send them to Moracle Foundation to train them for 3 months, an internship program. After the internship program, that would enable these young people to be able to complete some of their practical experience record that is required by ACCA, but also to be able to go out there and look for work. So they are ready for work. And I'm so excited to be able, to be part of this. And when I set up Moracle in 2008, if you told me that today in 2025, I would be involved with ACCA, to deliver a program like this, I would have been saying you're joking. You just have to believe in yourself, know what you have, then go out and do it. I'm so grateful, but also for the staff and people who are working with me. Without, them, there's no way I could have done this by myself. But I've got really good people who are working with me from all over the world. My staff are all over the world, day in, day out. We're working, serving young people who really want to come into the accountancy profession. And I myself, I am interested in doing so much work. One of the programs that I am really, really excited about, I'm passionate about, is supporting women in the accountancy profession. What we managed to do in 2020, we set up Moracle in Ghana. The plan is to take Moracle to every African country whereby we work with women who want to set up their own accountancy practice in Africa. And at the moment, we've got Moracle Ghana. I'm so proud to have set up Moracle Ghana, and we know that we're going to go to every other African country to do that. I am really, really committed to giving back to society. That's the legacy I want to leave this legacy whereby accountants use our specialized knowledge and be able to give back to society in different ways. I'm so happy and grateful. I'm so excited every day to be talking about this. So also for me, I think I like the mindset training that helped me to be able to have this positive way of thinking and to be there to serve in a way that is got no reservation. The mindset training has helped me to discipline myself to be out there, to be able to serve other people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Morlai. It's amazing things that you are doing, and it is really inspiring. As part of Moracle Limited and Moracle Foundation, I can see that there is a lot going on in both companies, and I'm really proud of ACCA partnership, that program that we are doing right now. That's really great. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, for our listeners who may not know, tell us a little bit more about Moracle Limited, what we do, and what inspired you to develop the 6-step accountancy formula.
Well, thank you, Satara. A really good question. And I've answered that question several ways. And every day, that question is asked. I'm inspired to talk a little bit more about it. And when I set up Moracle in 2008, I was coming from a background where I have worked for about 11, 12 years, in a mid-tier firm where I was an audit manager specializing in charity audit. But it's not only charity audit I was doing limited companies, I was doing tax, I was doing personal taxes, self-assessment, but also systems. And so when I set up Moracle in 2008, I decided that I was going to do things differently. Different in the sense that, number one, I was going to go digital, in 2008, even though it was challenging, very expensive, to have an accounting practice digitalized. But I decided I wanted to do that. So digital was one thing that I did, but also I wanted to do things in a different way, in the sense that how we go about serving clients. To serve clients, it's all about being there. We are the trusted advisors. People come to us and talk to us about their business, what got them to do business, and they're looking for a credible partner, in the like of the accountant, to be there with them, to understand what makes them wake up every morning. What are they passionate about? What are they doing? Why? What they are doing? And I thought, well, you know what? With all my experience that I've gained working for my old accountancy practice and audit practice, let me try and see if I can put something together. And I started with this philosophy, the Moracle Formula, this 6-step, how you can design a finance function that is fit for purpose, a finance function that serves businesses. It doesn't matter whether you're a small business, medium-sized business, or large business. Every business out there needs a finance function. So, and I started thinking about it. The thing that came to my mind was so clear. These 6 stages, what are the 6 stages? Stage 1 is the management information systems. So this is where all the systems come together, different systems, talking to each other, integrated, so that you'll be able to capture data, record data, analyze data, and reconcile that data. It was so clear to me, but we're not doing this, where I came from. Well, it's because things were done differently. For me, it was no-brainer. It starts with this, capturing data, recording that data, analyze that data, and then reconcile that data so that you'll be able to produce a report. And that report is what you are going to be able to now use to produce your, for example, your management account, which is stage number 2. Stage number 2, you are now taking all this historical data and then put it in a format that will be relevant, for decision makers. So for me, it was so clear, this philosophy. But looking at what was out there, I've not seen it anywhere. So to be able to keep accounting simple and accessible for businesses, because again, I'm saying here, it's not only for big businesses or medium-sized businesses, also for small businesses. It's got to be accessible. What formula is out there that small business can tap into? The Moracle Accountancy Formula. It also to help businesses make smarter and data-driven decisions. That was one thing for me, to set up a system where everything was digitally driven. That was one thing that was so clear that businesses need, but also to focus on strategic insights, not just number crunching. Stage number 2 deals with that particular aspect, management account that adds value. So this philosophy behind Moracle Accountancy Formula, if you think about it, it's 3 things coming together. You got the accounting accounting, you got the mindset, and then you got the artificial intelligence. Those three things coming together is what makes the Moracle accountancy formula unique in itself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's so refreshing to hear an approach that focuses on making things simpler and clear. Accounting can feel overwhelming for a lot of people, so this must be a game changer. Now, let's talk about how it all began. When was the formula created, and what was the motivation behind it? Was there a specific problem you saw in the accounting world that you wanted to solve? Let's hear more about it.
Yes, fascinating question. Thank you. Well, as I said, Moracle was set up in 2008. Yes, and I wanted to do this differently. So the formula started in 2008. But 2008 was the infancy stage. Things were still at the infancy stage. It was not too clear to me. And what is it that we're going to do with this formula and how we're going to approach it? Yes, but it started in 2008. I remember sitting down with my trainees, the masterminding, we were brainstorming how we're going to be different. And that came out for in 2008 with a team of 4, as we were talking about here. And I was basically to address this gap between this traditional way of accounting and business strategy. We, as the accountant, it's not all about just number crunching. It's not just about just recording, data recorder, after the event. No, we need to get involved, emotionally involved in client businesses, knowing why they wake up every morning to do what they do. What's their passion? What's their mission, their vision? Get so much involved and understand what they are trying to achieve. And then we, the accountant, being there to be able to support them to make sure they achieve their goal. We just wanted to create an easy to follow, a comprehensive framework for any business, whether you be small, medium, or large. You can afford it and you can follow it. The finance function is key. Finance is the lifeblood of every business. If the finance function is not fit for purpose, that business is going to go crashing down. There's no sustainability. It makes so much sense to be able to invest in your finance function, to have a framework, and that framework, a comprehensive framework in place to make sure that things are done in a certain way.
Thank you. That's so interesting. It sounds like you spotted a gap and created something that not only fills it, but goes beyond a traditional accounting systems. Now let's talk about the bigger picture now. What's the main goal of Moracle six-step accountancy formula? How does it help businesses both in the short term and as they grow?
Well, it's basically 3 things. It builds and organizes efficient accounting system. That's number 1. Number 2, it minimizes, financial risks while boosting profitability. If you think about it, most businesses out there, it's all about, identifying risk and minimizing the risk, including financial risk. And finally, is to set businesses up for the long-term success. Business is a long-term approach. It's not a short-term. If the business is set up for a long term, then this is what the 6-step accountancy formula was all about.
Exactly. I love how it is designed to not just solve the problems, but really set businesses for success. Speaking of success, let's discuss how Moracle Accountancy Formula helps companies scale. How does the formula help businesses grow and scale? Can you share some specific ways it supports better planning, cost saving, or cash flow management?
Yes, very good question. Accountancy is all about that for Moracle. How do we help businesses grow and scale? We've got very good examples out there of clients that we've been working with for over 10, 15 years who have scaled. They just continue to grow and grow and grow. When we reflect back, why these businesses are growing, in the way they are doing. Obviously, there are other things that they're doing right. But we, as accountants, part of that system team that have helped these businesses to scale and to grow. And one thing that we implemented would be streamline the financial processes for efficiency and compliance. Everywhere we go, we look at, what is there? How can we streamline the financial processes? Because if things are all over the place and not streamlined, then you got duplication, you got waste. You're not able to create capacity to do things. A crucial bit that we, everywhere we go, is to create capacity. This knowledge that we have when we go out there is number one, to put into good use to be able to create capacity so that, you get the efficiency. And also, it's all about compliance. You want to be able to make sure whatever it is that you're doing, we're complying with the rules and regulations, the laws, but also stakeholders who are out there. The next thing that we focus on is providing insight to improving cash flow and planning. Every business needs that. Cash flow is king. Cash flow. If your business is profitable and without cash flow, then that business is not going to be sustainable. So you need the cash flow to be there because it's the lifeblood of any business. But also, when you're talking about planning, that business needs to be in a routine planning phase, all the time planning. If things are not going right, what do we need to do with the plan? You got to adjust the plan a little bit more to this side or to that side, and for you to be able to make the next move. So planning is something that we advocate, and we're there with our clients all the time. Also, to build, a foundation for sustainable growth. For a business to grow and scale, you need that foundation. And that foundation need to be strong. That foundation need to be one that is fit for purpose, because it is only when the foundation is strong that sustainable growth can happen. For businesses who can grow and then their growth is not sustainable, it's back looking at the foundation. The foundation is not strong, but when the foundation is strong, that growth is definitely going to be sustainable.
Thank you, Morlai. That's exactly what businesses need, something efficient but also strategic. Now let's touch on why it's built for the long term. What makes Moracle Accountancy Formula sustainable? How does it adapt as businesses grow or face new challenges?
Thank you. Well, simply looking at three things. One will be the scalability as business grow. Like I said earlier, the Moracle Accounting Formula applies to small businesses, to medium-sized businesses, but also to large and multinational. That scalability is crucial. You cannot have a formula is just fixed or rigid. As a business, grows, to be able to adapt it. Adaptability is so important. But also it reduces the risks while improving financial health. Every business needs to identify the risk that the business is exposed to and be able to see how you can mitigate those risks. And one of those things is this financial health. If a business is there and it's not financially viable, then that business is not going to be sustainable. So it's so important to be able to identify those risks that will help to improve your financial health of the business. You want to be also to adjust to regulatory changes. This world is fast moving pace. Businesses is happening so much faster because of the digital and online ways of doing things. So to be able to adjust to changes and evolving business needs, so important for any business out there. And that is what Moracle Accountancy Formula brings to bear.
Exactly. That adaptability is such a big deal. Businesses are always evolving. So it's really great to hear that the formula grows with them. And now let's talk about how your approach stands out from the usual accounting services. What actually makes Moracle's approach different from traditional accounting services, and why should businesses think about switching to this framework?
Very good question. So we decided from day one that we don't want to be a traditional accountancy practice. So this formula is got this holistic focus whereby systems and data capture, analysis and reporting takes place in the environment that is conducive. The mindset that you bring to bear needs to be there. So it's not the traditional way of doing things. Yes, we need to be able to apply professional skepticism, but also we need to be able to apply emotional intelligence at the same time. Looking at the system and the holistic focus about how do you capture data, record data, analyze data, and reconcile data in a certain way. So it's so important that you look at it from an holistic angle. And the next bit is it offers actionable insight, not just bookkeeping. In fact, the word bookkeeping for us, we don't use that terminology within the Moracle Accountancy Formula because it's beyond numbers. Whatever it is we do within our accountancy service that we provide is beyond numbers. We're looking at more strategic way of thinking, but the mindset that we bring to bear as well is so important when we're dealing with things. And lastly, it would be, what value do we add to any client that we serve? We are driven, everything that we do is about value added, value add. All the different stages, is looking at value add because for businesses to grow, they need to be able to have growth strategies strategies and performance metrics in place to be able to guide them to be able to do what they are doing on a daily basis. It's so important that value add is taken into consideration. It's a big way, for us. So traditional accountancy, does not consider value add. It's all about ticking the box, and that's it. But we are actually going out there, focusing on identify value add initiatives and work with a client to implement it, just for the benefit of all concerned. Because it's a two-way thing. It's not only about the client, because we know when the client grows, Moracle is going to grow as well. So thank you very much.
That's such a fresh perspective. It's not just about numbers, but about strategy and insight, which is so valuable. Let's break it down step by step for our listeners. Can you briefly walk us through 6 steps of the formula? What's involved in each step?
Well, it's a 6 step and of the formula, and it starts with step number 1. So step number 1 is what we call the management information systems, which basically means that different systems are coming together to form what we call management information systems. And you got like the sales ledger system, the purchase ledger system, the payroll system, the bank and cash system, the VAT system. All of these systems are coming together in an integrated way to be able to do what? To be able to capture data, record data, analyze data, and reconcile data. That's why we call it management information system. And this is where everything starts. Data, financial and non-financial information need to be captured in a certain way, recorded in a certain way, analyzed in a certain way, and then reconciled in a certain way. So you got to have a system, a management information system that does that for you. In stage number 1, for Moracle, we use 3 different types of accountancy software: QuickBooks, Xero, and Sage. There are lots of other accountancy packages out there, but those are the 3 that we specialize in to be able to capture data, record that data, analyze that data, and reconcile that data. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is what we call the management accounts and value added. Management accounts and value added means basically we're pulling out information from stage number 1. The budget is in stage number 1. The day-to-day transactions that have been captured, recorded, analyzed, and reconciled is there. Even though this is historic data, we pull that information into stage number 2 and then look forward, and then we do some forecasting. And then when we bring all of that together, the data from the past, from stage number 1, and forecasting the future, this is what adds value. And the value there that we are bringing to the client is bringing things like the financial and non-financial information. Non-financial information such as KPIs. Every business needs to identify KPIs and measure those KPIs. Google Analytics. Every business today have got a website. So you need to be able to look at the analytics that is coming out from your website and then be able to use that to forecast. And that's why that step is called management account that adds value. Step number 3 is where at the end of the year, you got to prepare statutory accounts. And when you're preparing statutory accounts to be able to file these accounts with the authorities, you need to be able to provide scheduling, detailed breakdown of what these numbers represent. Yes, have you got breakdown, of your income? Have you got breakdown of your expenditure? Have you got breakdown of your balance sheet items? That's where scheduling comes in, because you're scheduling all the individual, numbers that you got in the financial statement to give you a background. Why? Because, there are always going to be queries coming from either internally or externally. From HMRC, for example. HMRC from time to time will question, please, can you provide additional information about income? So you need to be able to go to your schedules and produce, schedules. So that's why you got statutory accounts and scheduling. It's all about compliance. It's all about looking at your trial balance and those lead schedules that you got down there all tying up. You're telling the story. Step number 4, after you've done your account, is now focusing on your taxation. For every business that is out there, a limited company, you got to do a corporation tax return that you need to file with HMRC in the UK. If you say individual, then you need to do a self-assessment tax return, which you need to file with HMRC. So step number 4 is the taxation, where you are looking at the tax. Most businesses are out there, if they're profit making, they're looking how to minimize their tax exposure. And we, the accountant, need to be there to help the businesses to minimize legitimately what their tax exposure is. That's one of the reasons why we as accountants are employed to be out there. So Step number 4 is all about tax. But also, you want to look at different schemes, how you can now help to minimize or optimize, your tax position for the company. Sometimes, we employ special strategies. Like, for example, research and development scheme is available for businesses out there who are in doing business that are as innovative, or creative in a way that will meet the criteria for HMRC. So we engage with partners who will come in with their expertise and help our client to identify if there's any research and development activities going on. So all of that is stage number 4, taxation. And the 5th stage is reporting. For every account that you do, you got to produce a report. Either it's going to be an audit report or an accountant report or an independent examination report. So stage number 5 is all about reporting, audits, independent examination for charities, and accountant report for non-charities. And finally, the last step here is where you file with the authorities. You file accounts at the end of the year with Companies House. 9 months after the end of the financial year, Companies House. Charity Commission. You file with Charity Commission. 10 months after the end of the financial year. With HMRC, you file your corporation tax 12 months after the end of the financial year. So these are the filing requirements after you've done all your work. Stage number 1, stage number 2, 3, 4, 5, stage number 6, is now being in the position to be able to file this account with authorities. These are the 6 steps that the Moracle Accountancy Formula entails. So stage 1, management information systems. Stage 2, management accounts and value added. Stage 3, statutory accounts and scheduling. Stage 4, taxation. Stage 5, reporting. And stage 6, filing with the authorities.
Wow, thank you, Morlai. That's such a detailed and practical process. It's clear that each step builds on the next. Now, why do you think these 6 steps are so important for businesses? Why should businesses care about these 6 steps? What benefits they get from following this framework?
Thank you very much. Very good question. Well, I'll break it down into 3 key areas. Number 1, it ensures financial stability and compliance. Every business out there needs to be financially stable and then also be compliant with the authorities and regulations. So that's number 1. Number 2, it's all about managing risks, the risk that every business is exposed to. You need to be able to know that. You need to be able to track the performance, in an effective way. And it's so important because if you don't know the risk that the business is exposed to, then you're going to be in a position whereby the business is exposed. So you want to identify those risks. The final part is to provide a strategic roadmap for growth. Every business is looking to grow. That's why they are in business. No business individual or entrepreneur out there is in business, for a static reason, don't want to grow. No, every business wants to grow. So you need to be able to provide this roadmap strategically so that you can see what is the next move for the next growth. And those are the 3 things that actually I will summarize why businesses have to care about these 6 steps.
Exactly. It's clear that it is so much more than just compliance. It's about, setting a foundation for success. Now let's talk about the tools that help make this formula work. What tools do you use to bring the 6-step accountancy formula to life? Can you explain how they help with each step?
Yes, it's a really good question. As I said, in 2008, we decided we're going to go digital. What that means is we're going to invest heavily on a digital way of doing things. The interconnectivity, making sure that wherever we are in the world, we are able to connect. We are able to serve our clients. We were in a very good place when COVID hit because we've already invested in a digital way of doing things. So we were able to weather the storm when, businesses were shutting down. We were there. It didn't affect us that much, in terms of the way we work. So working from home was something that we were already doing. But the tools that allow us to do this, for all the 6 steps, so I'll go step by step. Stage 1, we use QuickBooks Online or Xero or Sage Online, where data is captured, payroll, VAT, and all of these things is done online. So every client that we have is online. So we can access, their information remotely. We can record this information. We can analyze this information and produce reports and send them to our clients remotely, digitally. So that's step number one. So the tools that we use in stage number one, is QuickBooks, Xero, and Sage. There are other accountancy packages out there, but for us, we specialize in using those three packages: QuickBooks, Xero, and Sage, and all of that is online versions. Step number two, we use Spotlight Reporting. Spotlight Reporting is an online cloud-based, software which we're able to pull information from QuickBooks, Xero, and Sage. The connectivity is there, much easier and smoother. Once you've done your data capture, recording, analyzing, reconciling in stage number one, that information is pulled over to Spotlight Reporting software, and then you'll be able to customize it, for your customers. So you'll be able to pull financial and non-financial information that includes KPIs and customized insights as well. Stage number three, we use a software called Digita that is produced by Thomson Reuters. So Digita is the system that we use for accounts preparation stages, and then we use it for the filing of those accounts when it comes to the external filing. But Digita is so comprehensive. So we pull out a trial balance from stage number one, reconcile trial balance, and then import that into Digita. And then the statutory account is being produced, subject to customization based on the type of client. It makes life so much easier. Our colleagues, enjoy using Digita. We got staff who are all over the world who can log in from wherever they are to be able to produce statutory accounts, from our system. And that's what makes it very, very useful tool for us to allow other people who are not even based in the UK to have access into the software and be able to use the software. And the support is just so brilliant. Step number four is we use Digita as well. So stage 3 and 4, is Digita, because when we do the accounts, in Digita, you move those accounts to your corporation tax in Digita, and it makes life seamless. So easy and straightforward. So 3 and 4 is Digita. Step 5, we use Digita as well, particularly when we're doing audit. But our key software that we have been using and still continue to use until we're going to move on to Digita is My Workpapers. My Workpapers is a cloud-based software where our audit is being done and it's online. But also, the key there for us, is that, you can actually feed in your trial balance from stage 1 onto either Digita or My Workpapers. Much easier. But also access for our staff. Remember, our staff are based all over the world. They are able to log into Digita as well as My Workpapers to be able to do the work that they do. And finally, step number 6, to file these accounts and then with the authorities. We use Digita to file accounts with Companies House, Digita to file accounts with HMRC, and then at the moment we're not using Digita to file with Charity Commission, because Charity Commission, you don't use a third-party software. You have to go online to do it. So to recap, the tools that we use in stage 1, QuickBooks, Xero, and Sage online. Step 2, we use Spotlight Reporting, a cloud-based management account software. Step 3 and 4, we use Digita for the accounts production and then also for the taxes. Step 5, we use Digita, but also we use My Workpapers. Step number 6, we use Digita. So you can see Digita dominates the software that we use in the Moracle Accountancy Formula. Thank you.
Thank you, Morlai. These tools sound like such time savers, and I can see how they also help businesses stay organized and efficient, and how it brings the 6 stages of Moracle Accountancy Formula to life. But some businesses might hesitate to adapt new systems. What would you say to them if a business is hesitant to adopt these tools or follow the 6-step formula? What would you say to convince them?
Yes, I will understand. Change is not easy to accept. If you've been doing something in a certain way and that is producing results, and then somebody is asking you to change, for the sake of change, is very difficult. But I just want to draw attention to businesses. You want to be able to save time and minimize errors that are costly. So we want to encourage and then be able to talk to clients to use this formula will help them to save time and to minimize errors. There's a lot of training that we can give and provide and support to allow clients to be able to, or businesses, to be able to save their time and minimize errors that that are very, very costly. Number two, it improves financial visibility, and streamline processes. Yeah, there's no point where you're doing things in an haphazard way, duplicating processes. Say, for example, you got systems that are not talking to each other, standalone. This day and age, you should not be doing that because it costs a lot of money. So financial visibility, it has to be there. You don't have to wait for information for too long for you, to be able to access it. So that information need to be visible at all times. But also processes have got to be streamlined. You cannot have cumbersome systems or processes in place. That's why we advocate your financial procedure manual, need to be up to date. You need to be streamlined so that every process is documented and challenged at all times. Finally, it provides strategic benefits with real-time insights. For us, the Moracle Foundation formula is all about, the benefit that it brings, to bear in the finance function. When you apply the Moracle Accountancy Formula, it gives you structure, it gives you peace of mind, it gives you clarity. That's what the formula brings. So it provides that strategic benefit. Strategic benefit is very, very, very essential because every business needs to be able to adapt to some of these things. They were able to get strategic benefits coming out from it with real time. You don't have to wait for too long. This day and age, 21st century, information should be real time. The banks are now connected to the accounting system. Before, we have to wait until the end of the month for the bank statement to be sent by the bank to us before we can begin to think about reconciling bank accounts. But now, every day, transactions as they happen, as they appear, they are being posted. This is real time, and the real time insight that it brings to a business is so, so valuable.
Thank you. That makes so much sense. Saving time, reducing errors, and getting better insights sound like a win-win. Let's wrap up with a look at what's next for the formula and for our podcast. In future episodes, you'll be diving deeper into each stage of the formula. What can our listeners expect to learn as they follow along?
Well, thank you very much, I must say, for listening to our first podcast, going forward. And there is so much, that is in the pipeline, for you. Just keep listening, keep following us. Definitely, you're going to have detailed breakdowns of each step. I'm going to be talking and giving you examples of how the Moracle Accountancy Formulas help businesses for every step, real-world examples of how businesses use the formula and businesses that have grown from 300,000 to now 7 million or more. Business that are turning over, millions and millions of pounds at the moment. Ones that are using the formula really, really successfully. I will want to share some of those good examples. But also, there are challenges as well that I would like to talk about, using the formulas, but practical tips as well for better financial management. We come across a lot of tips that our clients are using. We learn a lot from our clients actually because we don't know everything. So we go out there to learn from our clients and then we use that experience they're learning to pass on to other people. So practical tips for better financial management will be shared in future episodes.
That sounds like it's going to be so helpful for business owners. Let's end with some advice on how to get started. For anyone listening who's ready to explore the Moracle Accountancy Formula, how they can get started and what's the first step?
Yes, simple. Book a consultation. Yes, with myself to review your current accounting system. It's a free consultation. Remember, it's free. Yeah, just book. I will come down or do that online to review your accounting system and give you a report as to what is going on and then the recommendations. And then we're able to handhold and support you, to try and close those gaps. Secondly, you get a tailored implementation plan. If you wanted us to go and do that for you, we will discuss it and then tailor it, to meet your requirements. And finally, the support. We believe in supporting you all throughout the journey. It's not just identifying a gap or weakness in your system, but we're going to provide, in addition to the tailored implementation plan, the support mechanism, the hand-holding that we're going to provide throughout the transition to ensure a successful transition, a successful implementation, and your business is going to be for a success. We're going to hold your hand.
Thank you, Morlai. That's such a simple way to get started, and it's great to know that Moracle supports businesses every step of the way. Thank you so much for sharing all of this with us today, Morlai. And that's a wrap up for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to learn more about Moracle Limited and Moracle Accountancy Formula, you can visit our website, moracle.co.uk, or reach out to us directly. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment for us, and share this episode with others who might find it helpful. And thank you, everyone. See you in the next episode.
Thank you very much. Bye for now. Bye bye.